Hello, Interneters. It was about to happen. I'm going to talk about a well-known game. Donkey Kong Country Returns. This one's the 2010 release for the Nintendo Wii. Since, of course, she wants her apple juice. You may have never played this game, or even a game in the Country franchise, or even in the original franchise. But you have apple juice. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that interruption. She ran out of juice. So anyway, you may have never played this game, or any in the franchise, or any in the original franchise. But as gamers, everybody knows who Donkey Kong is. Even non-gamers, except for that one lady on Jeopardy. Donkey Kong. Such a disappointment. Anyway, yeah, he's iconic. All his games are fantastic. But yeah, maybe not Donkey Kong 3. That one was a little weird. But it still wasn't bad. And that's not the one we're talking about today. So, if you're familiar with the Country series, it's a side-scrolling platformer. It's known for its amazing controls, standout visuals, fantastic soundtracks, entertaining and goofy storylines. And while difficult compared to other platformers, a very fair level of challenge. So where does that put us in this installment? What's the story? How did this game fare? Did it hold up? The story... Sorry about all the ums. So my daughter's joining us on this recording. So, the story... Someone always is after those darn bananas. Some creatures called... Well, this particular one anyway, the creatures called tikis show up on the island, and they hypnotize the population to steal the banana horde. Donkey Kong's banana horde, so you know it's serious. They even try their tricks on Kong himself, but he's not weak-minded, and the Jedi mind tricks fail on him. The game then opens with, hold on, she can't get it, I'll be right back. So, sorry about that. Yeah, she wanted her golf clubs. That's our little gamer girl, by the way. She likes video games. She knows, a lot of the characters. And anyway, that aside, back to the story here. So the Tikis try to hypnotize Kong himself. At least there's one that snuck into his room, or his cabin. But he's not weak-minded, and the Jedi mind trick fails on him, of course. And then the game opens up with you smashing a tiki around in the cabin comically. You shake the controller to smash, and then you pop out of the cabin, much like you do in the very original Donkey Kong Country. And now it's time to get those bananas back. So, how are the controls? The being a Wii title, you'd expect quite a few options, but you are limited to just two variants in this case. You can use the Wii mode by itself, and you can also use the Wiimote paired with a nunchuck. My preference is to rock just the Wiimote. You hold it sideways, NES style. Simple button layouts and laser accurate response times are fantastic. Using the nunchuck doesn't take away from this, and you may prefer that option, as both setups are pretty similar. Now there are some motion controls, so motion control haters will be hating, and they're very easy though. They don't get in the way ever. Slightly different motion depending if you're using the nunchuck or not. So just the Wiimote by itself, you shake the Wiimote to do a ground pound. If you're using the nunchuck, you shake the Wiimote and the nunchuck. If you hold down and then you shake, your character will blow. I haven't really found too much of a reason for this other than some hidden coins. Now if you hold left or right and shake, you'll do a rolling attack. And that goes the same for if you're using the nunchuck, but you just gotta shake the Wiimote and the nunchuck when you're doing that. So the controls, nothing stand out, but as far as new things, they're really well done. It was nice to play this and get back into a really just super accurate platformer. And let's go into the graphics now. So how the graphics look. The Country series is known for pushing hardware to its limits, especially when it was first released on the Super Nintendo and even the Game Boy variants. I mean, I've never seen a Game Boy game look quite so nice, even though the frame rate on the Game Boy doesn't really hold up to the big boy consoles. So yeah, so it's always pushed the limits, and I'm not sure that it's pushing the limits on the Wii. But it does look amazing. It's gorgeous. The loading times are pretty good. They're a lot better than they are in the Wii U. There's bright colors, there's amazing art direction, fun animations, and even though the Wii is a 480p system, and I'm running this on a pretty large TV when I'm playing it, between the speed of the game and just the overall presentation, if you didn't know this was on a Wii and you could be fooled that this was on a newer console. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, if you were to compare it directly to the Freeze, the latest installment, I mean, you definitely, there's an upgrade in visuals, of course, but I mean, you can't argue with even just the Wii graphics. I mean, they look fantastic. So I'm not, it looks great. That's all there is to it. It's a fun game. So how's the sound? Amazing. Not just the soundtrack. The sound effects and the interactions are all blended into the game smoothly. Here comes my daughter again. The effects are fun, and we'll get a smile out of you the first few times you encounter a new one. Oh, she's trying to push the mute button on me. No, don't push the mute button. No! They don't take themselves too seriously, though, which matches the overall style of the game, as being a bit of a cartoony game. She's really trying to go after that mute button. Hold 1 second, guys. It was muted the whole time. All right, sorry about the wait there. She's really going after that mute button. Today's review is brought to you by toddlers, pushing buttons and pulling cords since forever. So yeah, so definitely going back to the audio here. You should, you will enjoy the sound effects. They're just goofy enough, but they don't take you out of the experience. Sorry about all the background noise. The kid is playing with some golf clubs and styrofoam packaging for my mic. Yeah, anyway. So the soundtrack, however, is fantastic. And yes, you should have this in your playlist. It's a driving force in the game and is going to help propel you through all the levels. The game would, however, be amazing without the music, but it's just another level of perfection in this game that needs to be appreciated. So absolutely grab the soundtrack, put it in your iPod, put it in your Microsoft Zune, whatever you may be rocking out. Now, this was the first country game that was not produced by Rare, but it wasn't an issue. This game was made by Retro Studios, who of course went on to make the next title in the series, as well as a few other games with Nintendo. And of course, the sequel to this one on the Wii U is also a nice slice of platforming perfection, by the way. So go buy yourself a Wii U if you don't have one. Most likely you don't, since nobody seems to have bought them but me, and go play it. Now, oh, thank you, honey. This game received nothing but accolades and praise. As a matter of fact, I didn't find any negative nitpicks about it, which is pretty impressive. Except for, I guess, general haters. Oh, it's Nintendo, or a kid's game. It is not a kid's game. So how do I feel about it? Sure, it's obvious at this point. One of the best games on the Wii, hands down. The only thing I thought was odd is this game, or the series, is noted for its difficulty. But while I found the gameplay fair, this particular installment was easier than the others. Not saying if you're a novice player you're going to be able to scream right through this game, or the later levels aren't challenging, but definitely easier curve than I anticipated. But again, not child's play. So who is this game for? I'd like to think everyone should experience this gem. But I know some gamers can be intimidated or just don't enjoy a platformer, which makes me sad. Such a perfect game will go unplayed by so many. But well, I found this to be, again, easier than some of the other ones in the series. That doesn't mean it's an easy game. I've already said that. New gamers and novices to the genre may get a little frustrated, but it's still worth playing. To introduce someone to platforming with one of the best platformers made is a good way to start. But much like you wouldn't start a 5-year-old on Mega Man, this may be good to look what you can look forward to once you get a little more experience, instead of, hey, play this, get frustrated, and forget about it. I don't recall how I picked this one up. I think it was a social media find. If it's how I remember it, I think I got it for around $10. Depending where you're looking around. Online, the game's averaging about $12. Most shops I've seen it in selling it. Oh, thank you, honey. This is for me. Are selling it for $20. I will read it. Yes, thank you. Most are selling it for $20 to $25, but it's also worth so much more. I'm surprised this isn't a $50 item. You know, another thing to note is this does have a really impressive manual with some pretty good color artwork in it. Sort of jumping around thoughts there. Now, it's like I said, it's averaging around $12. But I expect this game to jump up in value as collectors realize just how much they want and need to have this game. And while it's not rare, it's going to be hard to find down the road, I think, as no one will want to part with it, much like the Mario Brothers and the Contras and the Mega Mans. I guess we'll find out in another 10 years or so. Oh, she's coming after the mute button again. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. So don't think about it. Go buy it. Go buy it now. You can thank me later. Don't worry. Don't even have to thank me. And a side note, normally I play for about 20-30 minutes just to capture some footage. This time, this was my initial time playing, I played at least 90 minutes before stopping, and I would have played longer, but then, you know, adulting happened and I needed to go to bed. Yeah, oh, you want the red one. So thank you for listening to my rants, as well as my daughter playing, and happy interneting, and go get this game right now.